Hello time travellers! You'll notice I'm on my own today. You might have realised Ed is an archaeologist. That means that sometimes he has to be stuck down a hole in the ground somewhere, so you're just going to have to put up with me while I tell you something about the king and chocolate. So what is it with chocolate? Why do people love it so much? For this one, I get to wear my favourite hat again. I'm taking us back to Georgian times when chocolate's so expensive, it's the sort of thing that kings drink and people pay hundreds of pounds just for a recipe. This is a cacao pod. So this grows on the tree like that, only big and fat and coloured, often purple, often yellow. And inside, loads of beans. The pips inside a cacao pod are chocolate. I can break open that pod and I can eat me some chocolate. No, these little beans, if you break them up, taste like, well, seeds, nuts, exactly what they are. They do not have chocolatey flavour. Someone had to discover that if you heat them up, their flavour changes. A bit like roasting coffee. Very few people know that chocolate has no sugar at all in it. It's completely without sweetness. So if you took one of those little roasted beans and ate it with this wonderful chocolatey smell, you'd get a face like a rat's bum. It's awful stuff. The answer for us over here in Europe is sugar. When we discover that there is chocolate in South America and they're drinking this sort of frothy, cold, spicy drink, well, we don't like it that much. So what we do is bring it across the Atlantic and put sugar in it, and suddenly everyone's interested. So is it that simple? No. Oh, you need one of these. This is called a mano, because we use Spanish words for chocolate stuff. You push it up and down a hot stone with all the beans underneath, and they become a fine powder. And there is the problem. If you do that up and down on top of the beans for 5 minutes, you get a powder. If you do that up and down on top of the beans for an hour, you get a better powder. If you do it for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, you get a wonderful powder. The more you grind it, the better the chocolate tastes. So it's a really good idea if you get someone else to do the grinding for you. And that's why it's the proviso of people like kings and really wealthy people, because the man hours, not the mano, the man hours that go into it are extensive. So what's this all about? This is called a mulinello, and it's a whisk, but it's very important for your royal cup of chocolate, because once you've ground that powder, you're going to want to mix it up into a wonderful drink. Mix it with milk, mix it with water, add sugar, add vanilla, add wine, even better. Then what happens? Well, you're going to need, if you're the king, you're going to need a chocolate pot. And how can you tell it's a chocolate pot? Well, it's got a hole in the top. And it needs a hole in the top to take our little friend, the whisk. You lift it up, you pop it in, you move it over, it goes down inside, you bring the chocolate up to His Majesty, and then, just before you serve it, whiskey, 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 to bring all of that flavour together so the chocolate is perfect for the king. Ground and then whisked, a cup of royal chocolate from over 200 years ago. You know how chocolate today has become almost a children's drink? Really sweet, covered in marshmallows, things like that. No, this is more like an adult drink. It's like an espresso or a cappuccino. This is something for adults to enjoy together. This is rich. This is royal. Cheers.